calling. Don't stop, no, I'll never give up, and I'll never look back. Just hold your head up, and if it gets rough, it's time to get rough. Did anyone else immediately race home and play that song after hearing it in the prom scene in Paper Towns? Anyone? No? No? Just me? Okay.
Don't stop, no, I'll never give up, and I'll never look back. Just hold your head up, and if it gets rough, it's time to get rough.
Hey everyone, my name is Marianne, and I am here with a movie review of the movie Paper Towns, based on the novel by John Green. I saw the film a few days ago, and to be honest, I really enjoyed it. I did. Now going into it, I did read the book. So I wasn't completely clueless as to what was happening, but I read the book a few years ago, so my mind was still kind of fuzzy on like the details of the book. I only remembered like the general plot line. If I'm being completely honest with you, I wasn't that excited to see the movie at first, especially after seeing the trailer. I was a little bit skeptical. I didn't know if it was gonna end up being very good. It kind of just seemed like one of those cliche high school movies. It didn't really draw my attention. I know with The Fault in Our Stars, I was very excited for that, and I feel like the general public was really excited for that. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the book. I don't know if the book left a strong enough impression on me to do a book review, which is why I'm just going to do a movie review for now and try to compare it to the book. When I think of Paper Towns the novel, I just kind of have a meh feeling, if you could describe it that way. Looking at the novel, I felt like the beginning was really good. It was really exciting, very fast-paced, but by the middle, it just sort of dragged on, and I feel like for the majority of the book, nothing was really happening. They were just finding these clues to look for Margot. It dragged on way too long. I kind of lost interest, but I decided to power through. And then when it came to the road trip, I was super excited because that's when things started to pick up again. Going into it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is totally my new favorite John Green novel, but by the end, I was just, no. But with the movie, I feel like they totally just wiped out that problem. It was really well paced. Of course, with the movie, they kind of have to condense everything into like a 2-hour time frame. So I really liked how they fit everything in together, especially when it comes to like the middle part of the novel when they were finding the clues. They honestly spent 20 minutes on that. They didn't spend very much time on it, which I really enjoyed because we got to see the other more exciting parts of the novel. I felt it was a really good coming-of-age story. I feel like with the book, there were some elements of coming-of-age, but it was just more so just set in high school, and that was like the end of like the connection to coming-of-age. But with the movie, you kind of leave totally new like coming-of-age message. Not a new coming-of-age message, it's a pretty typical message. You gotta try and like, expand yourself, live up your teen years. We've been hearing that for years, but they kind of had a new take on it. Whereas in the book, you didn't really leave away with any message, so I really liked that. I also felt like the characters were greatly improved in the movie. Let's talk about Q. Quentin, he didn't really leave an impression on me in both the book and the movie. In the book, he was just kind of there. Even though he was the main character, I didn't particularly like him, I didn't particularly dislike him. He was just your average run-of-the-mill protagonist. And in the movie, I felt like Nat Wolff, who was the actor for Q, he like portrayed that really well. Like, he was just kind of there, even though it was his movie. I really liked how he was kind of average. A lot of times with like coming-of-age novels or high school movies, you have these characters who are like spectacular, they have something so unique about them. But like Q and his friends were pretty average dudes, and that's what you find. Like, that's the kind of people that are in my school, and like I feel like in most high schools, so I really appreciated that. Now let's talk about Margot. Oh my gosh. In the book, like most people, from what I've seen, I hated Margot solely because of the ending. The whole novel was about her being like a Manny Pixie dream girl, and I hear that John Green's book was supposed to like destroy that image, which is why the ending was what it was. Like, Margot was kind of like, oh, don't come and find me, I didn't leave those clues. I just hated her in the book for saying, why? Like, you obviously left all those clues, and then you're just gonna act all standoffish. You're not gonna appreciate what they've done for you. But in the movie, it was totally different. Talking about Cara Delevingne, however you pronounce it, when I first heard of her being cast as Margot, I didn't know what to think. I know Cara is like a well-renowned model, so I didn't want to write her off, but at the same time, I was kind of wondering, did she just get the job based on connection? In the movie, I thought she did pretty well. She wasn't spectacular, but she wasn't bad. I feel like because I know how she speaks with a British accent, I was so focused on that the entire time, and I can just tell she was focusing on masking her accent. So I feel like if she could just like let loose, she would have like gone to the character much more. But overall, I thought she did pretty good. I like how she was very mysterious as Margot. Again, in the book, one of the things I just hated about Margot was like how snarky she kind of was, in my opinion. I haven't read it in a while, so I don't know, but she just came off as really rude. In the movie, Margot was just a lot more playful and just sarcastic, but not in a mean way, and just a lot more fun way, I guess, and I feel like she really embodied what Margot, I feel like, should have been, or what John was trying to make her. One of the things that changed in the movie was like the ending. I actually really like the ending. I know people are kind of skeptical about it because the whole point, like I said, of the ending was to destroy like the Manny Pixie Dream Girl image. Q was supposed to realize like, oh my gosh, Margot's not this perfect girl. She's actually not that special, and what she did was not that good, and she's a person. Whereas in the movie, you just kind of have Margot at the end just going off in her adventure, and the whole message of the film just kind of changed. Q was much more appreciative of Margot at the end. So I kind of like the ending, but I understand why people who like the book would not like the ending. I really, really love the secondary characters in the movie, more so than the novel. I feel like they had so much personality. Ben, one of his best friends, oh my gosh, I loved him in the movie. He was hands down my favorite character. He just had so much energy. He was just brought to life. I know he was like really crazy and like said a lot of dirty remarks, but he was like the most real character, I feel like. Especially with John Green novels, a lot of like teens are very pretentious and they're using all these like big adult words. Well, not big adult words, but they're just having these like very thoughtful conversations. And you know, I wish we could all be like that. That'd be cool, but you know, the reality is most teens aren't like that. They're just, a lot of teens make dirty jokes and try to have fun with their friends, and nothing's wrong with that. I mean, we're growing up. So I felt that he was really realistic, and I just love how he embodied the character. It was so awesome. One thing that my friend actually pointed out when I saw the movie with her was how young the boys looked in the movie, and I agree, and I really, really like that, because I feel like in high school movies they're always casting like 20-year-olds and higher, like to play these young high schoolers, and then we're kind of so used to that, so when we actually see people who are like high school age or look young as teenagers, we're like, whoa, they look too young. But to be honest, most boys look like that. If I go to my high school, like, most of the guys are pretty short. They're not as developed as the guys in the movie, and it's understandable because guys in high school movies are often like 25 and higher. So I really liked how realistic the boys looked. Radar was pretty cool, but I really wish he was more developed. I don't think there was enough time for that. I wanted to see more of the Black Santas. That would be really cool. Angela, I was really excited to see. I know John Green mentioned that he wished he would have wrote more about Angela in the book, and I agree. I remember reading the book and I'm like, I want to hear more about Angela. So seeing her, more of her in the movie, and seeing her on the road trip, I really enjoyed that. It was also another chance to have like a young actor of color in a more prominent role, and I thought she was really fun. I really liked her and Radar's relationship. It was really cute. Again, I wish they could have expanded on that, but it wasn't their story to tell. It was about Margot and Q, so it was understandable. Lacey, I really enjoyed her in the movie as well. I thought she was a lot nicer than she was in the book. Again, a lot more rude, snarky, kind of on the same vein as Margot. Maybe that's why they were best friends. But in the movie, she was a lot more thoughtful, and she kind of wanted people to like break down the image of her as like the popular pretty girl. I thought she was pretty fun. She wasn't like, she didn't make a huge impression on me, but she was a nice character, I think. Overall, I just really, really enjoyed the film. I don't know how much it will fare in the long run. I've only seen it once. I plan on seeing it again, so I wonder if my opinion on it will change, whether I'll notice more things on it. It wasn't the most amazing movie out there, you know, I don't think it's gonna go in my list of favorite movies of all time, but it was an enjoyable film, and I'd like to see it again, and I think I want to see more coming-of-age films that are kind of stuff that you can watch casually. You don't always have to go away with like a super complex message when watching coming-of-age films, you know? This is just a film where you can watch with like your best friends and have a good time. Overall, like I said, it was a fun movie to watch. I really enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts about Paper Town below. Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? Did you not like it? If you read the book, how did it fare compared to the novel? Did you feel like it was better than the novel or worse than the novel? How do you think they did at adapting it to the big screen? I personally thought this was like one of the rare times where I felt that the movie was a lot better than the novel. And I rarely think that, like I said, so yeah, so let me know if you agree, if not, and if you haven't read the book, how did you think of it as a whole, just seeing the movie? Did you enjoy it as a film? yeah, just let me know your thoughts below. I'd really love to hear them. Also, I know that Looking for Alaska is going to become a film soon. It's been in development for like the last 10 years since like the book has come out 10 years ago. So that's something to ponder. Do you think it's going to do well? I know Fault in Our Stars did like amazing at the box office and it got so many rave reviews and everyone seemed to enjoy it. Whereas for Paper Towns, it's a lot more mixed and I don't know if it was as successful. So let me know how you think like Looking for Alaska is going to do for a movie. I felt like Looking for Alaska and Paper Towns, like a lot of the characters just meshed in together, and it's because I read the books. Like I felt like they're way too similar and I don't know how it's going to do on the big screen. I think they should have made Looking for Alaska first just because it's more popular than Paper Towns. But I don't know, we'll see. So yeah, thank you for watching.